Well, the first round of economic stimulus has finally landed in the bank accounts of some 80 million or so Americans. What has it done for the brother man? I'll let you know. Hi, I'm John McNeil. This is the Invest Strong Network. Welcome. Well, the stimulus has paid off for the brother man, but not in the way you might think. You see, really for the last few years, I've always paid my income tax via paper check, after, printing out my return using a software program, right? So my $1,200, me filing single, my $1,200 will not be done via direct deposit. So I'll actually have to wait to receive a paper check at some time in the future. Hey, what are you going to do, right? But the stimulus has paid off in a couple of very interesting ways. First, my lending club account, because I had noticed certainly since the great outbreak and the economic crisis that had followed, that there had been a creeping up in delinquencies in the lending club account. Now, I had mentioned that in previous vids, and I encourage you to go back and review those vids. But all of a sudden, this week, especially the latter half of the week, right, repayments spiked dramatically, right? And delinquencies came down pretty significantly. Yay! So is this a permanent trend, or is it a kind of a localized trend caused by the stimulus repayment? I'm not sure, right? But whatever, it's worked out for the brother man, at least in the short term. It's worked out nicely for me. Thank you, Mr. Sam, right? All right. And then there's a second way that the stimulus has benefited me. As I mentioned in previous vids, I also operate a bed and breakfast, right? And beginning in late February and into early March, I had a number of cancellations in reservations for the B&B, and then the number of persons inquiring and reserving new inquiries and new reservations basically just fell off the table. None in weeks, to be honest with you, right? Okay, that was a bit disheartening. And then all of a sudden, this past Thursday, I had 5 new inquiries, right? Now, unfortunately, none of the inquiries came to fruition. There was some problem with each one of them. There was just problems with some of them. So either I could not receive them, or they had to cancel for, one reason or another. But it was just good to begin to receive inquiries again. And I don't know this for sure, for certainty, but I feel pretty strongly that a lot of that had to do with people finally having some money via the stimulus to be able to, move around a bit and rent rooms, hotel rooms, bed and breakfast stays, things like that. So will it last going forward? Well, so far it has not, right? So on Thursday, it had a flurry of reservation requests, inquiries, and then it's diminished since then. But we'll see, right? And for that moment anyway, it really paid off. Okay, now, what about things going forward, right? Well, the market continues to rally off of the lows, the stock market that is, off of the lows in early March 2020, right? Now, early 20s of March 2020, right? Now, is this a head fake, or is this rally real? Now, in previous vids, I've mentioned that I'm quite skeptical of the permanence of and stability of this particular rally. The federal government and the Federal Reserve are pumping enormous amounts of stimulus into the economy to keep this thing going. That's certainly good, but it does not bode well for long-term permanent progress, right? So again, I'll state it as I had in previous vids, caution is in order, right? This is still not the time to be investing in any kind of speculative endeavors, right? So I mentioned in a previous vid that I felt that the government had about 3 months to get the medical crisis under control, or there will be deep, serious, permanent damage to the economy. And it is not looking very good right now. Now, the president is talking about reopening things, and he has some governors on a local level who say that, yeah, we're doing well enough to where we can perhaps reopen portions of our economy, right? But the grand reopening of the American economy, it looks like June at the very earliest, right? The very earliest. And it may not be, as Governor Newsom of California mentioned, it may not be until 2021 that the economy can be fully reopened. That is, being able to receive large crowds, conferences, sporting events, concerts, things like that, until there is a treatment or vaccine that, for this situation, we are going to kind of live a, partially open, partially closed economy from this point until then, right? That just does not bode well for economic growth, right? Caution. All right. So do me a solid, please. Smash that like button. I appreciate it. Leave a comment. Appreciate that too. Subscribe. Please subscribe. Right? Appreciate that. Thank you and good luck.